Foster.
Well, we'll go on this side.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, for sure.
It means a lot.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me okay? We're good? Thank you so much. I appreciate your time to be here. I'm excited for you to have an opportunity to share some of my insights. And I also want to make sure my goal is, I'll talk about this here in my presentation. My goal is for you is to have 2 to 3 items that you can go ahead and write down and take on and help you with your job search today. And hopefully I'm going to go through a lot of stuff. I have a lot of content, and let's see what I can go through. And please, if you have, interrupt me. As soon as you see something that you want to ask a question about, want me to clarify with, want to disagree with, all that's fine. And let's have a dialogue, and let's see what we can do to make things better. So if we can get up my presentation.
Yeah, he's working on that. If you guys have a question in the audience, give me a minute to come up to you with the microphone. Again, we're recording this. I want to make sure we can hear you, the question that you're asking during the recording. So.
Terrific. Okay, so great. So what we're going to do is I got a presentation up. What I try to do is have about 3 to 4 slides and talk about the marketplace, talk about the economy, talk about the jobs. And my perspective is only to be able to share with you about some of the things here in North Texas that you may or may not be aware of. I have the entire presentation is available. I have it. I'll make sure I have it here. I'll leave it with so it can be put on the website. You can send it and ask for it, or it could be put out. Or I have my email at the very end. You can email me, and I'll send it to you as well. So, but feel free to do what you want. So let's talk about this. What I want to say is let's talk about some of the things. I'm going to go across the entire job search platform. Talk about things that are not in one particular area, but things that you may or may not be aware of, things that I think that are very good questions that you may want to be struggling with at this point. Do I need to point a certain way? Toward up here? And press the button? or say forward?
Hang on, he's looking into it.
Thank you. Okay, so I apologize. Hopefully you can see things. There's plenty of spots up front if you want to move up there. Just a minute for myself. Like I said, I won't be offended if you want to disagree with me, if you have a different point of view, if you have a different alternative. Let's hear about those things. I do have an IT staffing and placement firm. A little bit about myself. I have a degree in computer science. I went to Trinity University in San Antonio. I did about 12 years or 15 years of IT professional work. Companies of PepsiCo, Frito-Lay, Texas Instruments, American Airlines, Fidelity Investments, before I started my company. So I tell people I have 15 years where I did real work. And the last 30 years, I've been running my IT staffing organization or so. We've been lucky, we've been fortunate, we've had some certain things, and we've been able to grow our company. That's what we've been doing for the past few years right now. So let's talk about, I used to say, let's talk about the Dallas economy, the Dallas marketplace. Then I used to say Dallas-Fort Worth. And now I really am saying North Texas, because we also have Irving, we have Denton, we have Waco, we have Alliance Airport. And so I want to talk about all those in there. The Texas economy is one of the best places to be as a job seeker, as someone building their professional career. We have 53 headquartered Fortune 500 companies, that being all of Texas. We are the largest state in the country with the most headquartered companies, i.e. that means the most opportunities for individuals to go ahead and find an opportunity to go ahead and engage with. If you look, New York has 51, California has 50. Since 2010, in the last 15 years, we've had 175 new companies relocate their headquarters in here, and we're still having more. Companies didn't stop during COVID. They're continuing to go on. Some of the things you may have heard of, they already show a footprint. We have Oracle making a bigger presence in here, Tesla, Amazon, HP, all those organizations are building their footprint or have announced moving here from there. So what we're looking to say, in the next 15 years or so, 17 years, you can expect 4.7 million jobs to be added to the North Texas marketplace. Okay, I know, all you need is just one, right? So there's a lot of opportunities here for you to find that there. I do IT. Out of those 4.7 million, over 1 million are professional jobs. So those are jobs that require an education, some sort of degree or advanced degree. So those are non-farm jobs. And I specialize in IT. Just this next year, we have, or I'm sorry, when my team put this together, there are over 21,000 IT jobs currently posted across the marketplace here. So that's what, those are just, and that equates to other areas as well. Whether you go in accounting, finance, HR, marketing, sales, there's similar types of job opportunities for that. So let's talk about some of the questions. I'm gonna go ahead and go through things. Let's see what we can do. All right, so some of it's gonna be basic. Some of you are just now in transition, and so I'm gonna go through some things that are a little bit more straightforward, and then we'll talk about some things that maybe, hopefully, you may not have thought of in particular. So I'm here as a job seeker. I'm looking to find a new opportunity. Where should I start looking? What should I start doing? So you need to go ahead and do a self-assessment. Go back and look at your resume, look at your LinkedIn profile, look at your annual reviews, and look at yourself from a self-assessment. Where did your leadership, where did your peers see where you have an opportunistic type of background? Where were you the most productive? Where did you shine in your deliverables and the different types of actions and projects that you worked in? From that, go ahead and research various organizations, various companies. I'll tell you right now, both from a recruiting standpoint and from a job seeker standpoint, and here's the first time you could disagree with me, the best place to spend your time on, sit yourself on every day is LinkedIn. LinkedIn pushes countless number of jobs out to you based upon your background. It also has recruiters. All my recruiters, when they have a new job opportunity, when they're looking for a candidate for a particular role, the first place they go is LinkedIn. And not only that, but it's something where you should be doing on a regular basis as well. And then from there, you want to go ahead and start looking at your skills and matching those things up to those job opportunities, to those things and those requirements that you see on there. Again, it's very basic, but the point is you got to have a plan, you got to start with something, and then you got to work that plan. So, sometimes people ask, where can I find the jobs on the hidden job market? Where can I go and find things that maybe where I don't have to go to Monster or CareerBuilder or Indeed or the countless other job postings that are out there? The hidden job network is going to be on LinkedIn. Let's say I'm looking for a job and I want to work for Caterpillar Construction. They just moved here. They're headquartered in Las Colinas, and now I want to work there. Okay, so I'm going to start looking to both their website, and as well I'm going to be looking on their LinkedIn, on their corporate page, on their LinkedIn jobs, what they have posted on there. Now let's see, I find a project manager of delivery of distribution. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use whatever means I can to go within LinkedIn and look under, put my search criteria as Caterpillar and distribution and leadership or management or manager or project or PM, something like that. And now I'm gonna get a list, hopefully, of anywhere from 3 to 23 different names. Then you want to craft a particular email or a particular invitation to that individual to try to see if you can connect with them. And then from there, naturally, you want to build a dialogue to see if that you can now help that person. Hey, Mr. Sally, I noticed Caterpillar has this manager of distribution. Do you know who I can make an introduction to? Is there someone that you think you can share my resume with? Those are the hidden markets. That's the best way. How many here work in HR and have an HR type career, an HR background? Okay, so the first, I hope I don't offend you, but only as a last resort do you want to go and apply online directly to that website. You want to work LinkedIn and other kind of networking opportunities that you can before you go there. Because once you go there, you're battling against hundreds of other applicants, and it's going to be a lot harder to separate yourself. So that's one of the best ways. And another thing is you want to go to professional organizations. There probably is here in town, in North Texas, a distribution-based professional organization. Or you can go to a PMI. Project Management Institute, which again will have people across all blended industries there. You want to, again, using your network, using the tools that you have, and going out to professional organizations. Most of them will, a lot of them charge, of course, a fee either to be a member or to attend a particular meeting. Most of them, if you contact the point of contact for the organization, say you're in transition, they will either waive your fee or they say you can come and attend, but we're going to ask that you don't have your dinner with us, but you can still sit at the table and make introductions. They're not going to have you wear a scarlet letter or anything like that, but don't think just because, don't be hesitant because of a cost associated to it. Reach out to them, explain your situation, and most of the time they will waive that fee for you. So don't stop there. And so, moving on. Let's say I have an opportunity. I found this job. It's slightly different. And let's say I've been a distribution manager for a number of years, and this particular role is looking for a logistics manager. Okay. Oh, well, they know what distribution logistics, that's pretty much overlaps quite a bit. No, you want to, like the slide says, tailor your resume appropriately to what the job description is asking for, regardless of how well you think someone is going to understand the similarities between the two jobs. Again, I'm an IT staffing firm, and let's poke the bear a little bit. And I apologize up front if I happen to offend certain people in the HR realm, but a lot of times HR's role is to reject you. HR's role is to say, I went through 20, 50, 700 resumes, and yeah, I couldn't find anybody for you, Mr. Manager, sorry. Because they are looking for the perfect matches. They're not taking 2, 5, 10 minutes reviewing a resume to determine if you actually have the same transitional skills over to what they're looking for. They're looking for keywords, they're looking for matches, they're looking for deliverables that match up to what they only have as a job description. Because HR, to their defense, they're recruiting primarily for marketing and sales and accounting and executives and IT and everything in between. And so they can't be a complete expert in every single industry or line of business. So the only thing that they can do is go down the path of a job description and match that up. And where you say distribution, 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 and the job description says logistics, 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 and their background is, and the recruiter's background is in marketing, they may not know that those two are synonymously. So what's the first thing they're going to do? They're going to pass and move on. So yes, you want to especially change your profile, your summary, to match up to that job description. I tell people, and I apologize also, I've been given different talks in the past, I give people more work. So guess what? During the 2025, we all have our goals. I'm gonna give you more work. You should, as a job seeker, someone that is looking actively to find that next opportunity, you should have actively about 20 different resumes. Of course, they all are saying synonymously the same things, but in one resume, you are a distribution manager. In another resume, you're a logistics manager. In another resume, you're a delivery manager. And they all have the same bullets. You've highlighted different things. One is more chronological, one is more performance-based, one is more focused on a particular term. And you're going to use those 20, once you build it up to that 20, then as you apply, then you have a collection of resumes that now you can specifically detail out to that particular job. Now, someone asks, okay, if I have 20 different resumes, which one do I put on LinkedIn? You got to put on LinkedIn the one that you believe is the most comfortable for you, that best portrays what that particular, your particular background. And so as a recruiter, using my same example, you are a distribution manager, I am hiring a logistics manager, and then you send me a logistics-based resume. Oh, that looks pretty good. I like the way Sally looks. I'm gonna go to LinkedIn, and LinkedIn says distribution, but now I see the keywords, and I see the deliverables, and I see everything matching up the same. I'm still good to go. What I'm scared is when I go to LinkedIn and see that you're an actor and you just finished performing Scrooge and you now haven't been able to, you're now looking for the next puppet theater to go ahead and start. That's when I raise a red flag. So that's all. So that's why I want you kind of encourage you. You want to be able to have those types of things, and it is some work, but it's only work till you get that first. The collection may only be a dozen. But my point is that's how you want to do, because you want to be able to get through that gatekeeper, get through that HR person, get through that referral, so that they can promote you to that next level, so you can be in front of the hiring manager that does understand how you perform, that does understand what you've done and which value you bring to the organization. And that's how you want to get there. So, all right. Can we go forward?
Greg, point this way. Well, that did no good.
I guess I could run back and run here. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Another thing, and please, like I said, I hope to hear a question from you soon. Cover letter. Do I need a cover letter for every application? I'm sure every single person that came and stood right here has an opinion about cover letters. I used to have an opinion, but I've changed. I've changed. Foster, I've changed. There's a time for this old goat up here can make changes. and my change today is up to you. And the reason why it's changed is because you now have plenty of tools that can help you to do this. More specifically, Copilot, ChatGPT, and some of those other AI tools out there. All right? So I'm going to leave it up to you to decide how you want to do with a cover letter. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit more specifically about that. And I'll tell you where my opinion is, because I'm a guy and I'm old, so I always have an opinion. All right, so a cover letter is required when the job posting asks for it, right? You want to put that, you want to go ahead and create that cover letter. A cover letter sometimes helps in smaller organizations because all of you here, I know, are highly skilled and typically in a professional type of background that can bring plenty of value to an organization. What happens is that, and you've been a leader, a lot of you have been leaders in the past. What has happened the last 3 to 5, well, actually longer than that, for a very long time, is companies, managers, hiring managers have to fight nail and tooth and nail, to get an approval to hire somebody. Yep. And it's no longer, okay, you need 3 people, sure, I'll give you, hire 5. You know, it's more like, I gotta fold in 3 different roles into one job because that's all I gotta approve. That's when you see it, a lot of those job descriptions. But the point being, so they have fought typically from 1 to 6 months to get an approval for one particular hire. Guess what happens if they hire wrong? That's why a cover letter is going to help ensure sometimes a hiring manager to have a better quality to be able to determine that this person may be a fit. And the other thing that happens is, again, a lot of you know this, is that no one has time to interview somebody because they're curious about their background. No one has time to say, are they going to be a good fit? Gosh, I guess I got to talk to them because I'm curious about it. No. Today, managers have to be convinced, whether it is through your resume, your LinkedIn invitation, and your cover letter, in whatever you use, managers have to be convinced that they got to carve out time in their workday to talk to you, which equates to them working late that night to still getting their job done. So that's why you want to have those dozen resumes. That's why if you want to use a cover letter, you make sure that it's tailored. That's why every time you talk with them, you're crisp and you're prepared, because they're validating and having to justify spending that 30 minutes, that 15 minutes, that 1 hour to talk to you, because they're working late that night for that same reason. So think of it, that they're doing that too. And then as well as they've had to battle 1 to 6 months with various levels of management to be able to get that approval of that headcount. So that's what I think. Now, another thing, a cover letter is good when you're transitioning. Let's say you've been working all your life in banking, and now you want to go to oil and gas. You want to use a cover letter for conventional skills. Another time is if you're addressing career gaps. A lot of times, I use the term the sandwich generation. A lot of us are caring for elderly parents, children with needs, and there may be times and sometimes cover letters are good to go ahead and use to address those particular types of gaps as well. And then a cover letter is also you want to create an opportunity of a dialogue with someone at an executive level where you may not see a job in Caterpillar, but you're thinking if I convey and have a dialogue and create a relationship with this VP, he'll be able to know me and we can keep in touch so that when he has that job opening in the second quarter, I can be a warm call to him. Those kind of things. Okay, I promised you I would tell you my opinion. On an IT side, from IT perspective and IT hiring, I don't care about cover letters. I never read them. They never give me any more insight than the resume is. On the IT side, I only need to know what you've done, for how long you've done it, what your tenure has been, and how you delivered. And those are the things I look for in cover letters. Even if you tell me that, I don't care. So there's my opinion. And I feel better that I said it. Okay. All right, I'm waiting for that first question. So, we got one.
We're going to have questions.
Okay.
After you finish the presentation.
Okay, yeah.
Then we're going to go to break, and then we're going to come back for a short period of time for questions.
Okay, great. But the reason I like questions is that means at least someone's listening to me. That's what I say. Go ahead. Oh, you want to wait for the microphone? We're over here, John.
Hello. Yeah, this is Muthu. Actually, I have a clarification. You said cover letter is not needed for IT jobs, right?
I said I don't read them. I didn't say that they're not needed.
Okay, you don't need it. But are you referring for IT technical hands-on jobs or even for management jobs?
Even management.
Oh, really?
I don't care. Can I ask your name?
Muthu.
Oh, too. Can you come up here, please? Real quick. Come on up here.
Okay.
Most of you haven't heard me talk, but I really like audience participation, so please have $25.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Good luck. You bet. All right. Does that make you not shy now?
I broke everybody up.
Okay. Possibly. Okay. How do you highlight transferable skills, like I said, when you want to switch in industries? Again, one of those 12 resumes, one of those 20 resumes should be something, if you want to move into other areas. Again, I encourage this, if you do have a tenure in banking or a tenure in financial services or a tenure in manufacturing, and you want to branch into high tech or startup or another industry stuff, that would be good to have a separate resume where you're highlighting more how you engage in new products, how you bring new deliverables, how you bring new processes and controls or reduce. As a hiring manager, I care more about when you increase revenue.
Yeah.
Even in IT. Tell me the times that you increase revenue. Yeah, it's nice to manage headcount. It's wonderful to reduce costs and everything. But as a manager, as a leader, because as my own company, I still care about this. When you save money, kudos to you. But for a company, you've only saved it once. And that's it. You can't save money every year, right? You only save it once. But if you increase revenue, that's going to stay from year to year to year. And that's the things that I'm looking for as a separator. It's not going to be the only thing I'm looking for. But again, if I have an interview of 2 hours in a week, and I got 5 strong candidates, I'm not going to interview 5 people. I'm going to pick the top 2. And so tiebreakers are what are the things that are going to make me interested in that person? And they say cost savings, reduced headcount, whatever, increased revenue. Most of the time, from my perspective, I want to talk to those 2 folks. Because if they increased it once, they're going to be looking for other opportunities where they can increase revenue in other areas. So that's where I want to try to say when you're moving, whether you're whatever resume you have, but especially when you're transferring industries, those are the things that you want to do. And I'm a big believer of bullet-based resumes.
Yes.
So when you do bullets, you make it very easy to show deliverables, to show accountabilities, and to show metrics. And that's what I'm looking for there. And then, like I said before, your cover letter can help manage you with any kind of gaps that you may have. We do have a question.
Okay. Okay, so this is great if you want to highlight transferable skills and switch industries. What if you want to not switch industries, or I mean, maybe you are switching industries anyway, but you want to go from marketing to communications, where you know you've got the skill set, you can do it, but how do you get the hiring managers to think outside the box and be like, oh, she's got all of these skills, which she used over here, and those are transferable, because that is a huge challenge.
Is it? Because I see marketing and communications to be kind of parallel.
Yeah.
Right? Those kind of overlapping at times? No, they're not? Ah, they're not. Okay. Well, again, that's a little bit outside my realm because I'm more IT. But I guess the better way I respond to it is how try to put yourself in the hiring manager's shoes. And the three things to think about: number one, she's fighting very hard to get the head count. Number two, they got to work overtime to talk to you. And number three, how are you going to separate yourself from other candidates? And you want to portray whatever specific way that you're kind of transition to the industry. How are you going to hit those three accountabilities? Because you want them to be able to take that time with you. So I can't give you more specific answer than that, but I think if you just try to come and challenge yourself. At the very end, I'm gonna end my show now. You know, your accountability partner is your best person to let them as a separate voice, because you've been reading your resume every day, you know, 5 to 7 times a day. Let that accountability partner say, is this conveying you the kind of metrics or the message that you want to convey? Because that's a fresh set of eyes that probably isn't in that industry. They'll be able to see a black and white that that's true. That's probably the best I can do there. So, all right. All right, how do I network effectively without bothering people? Okay, I'm gonna start from the bottom up, okay? Everybody today that you see, whether it's in church, in a professional organization, in the grocery line, at Whole Foods, that everyone knows someone in transition. It's no longer taboo. So as you talk to people, don't be ashamed of that. Most of the time, we don't have control when we're in transition. So because everyone's aware of it, a lot of times people have been there as well. And number three, it's no longer taboo. Share that with people that you know. Share that with your network, okay? But back to networking, your goal is to focus on building that relationship. Don't go in and say, hey, do you know anyone in your company hiring? You know, you want to talk about, hey, tell me about your background. What have you done? Where have you worked? Oh, you worked there. Do you know John Smith? How was that commute? I heard that you have to drive to the airport every day. Whatever it means. So build it on relationships, because you never know when that person is going to be around something that may have a hiring need or so. Okay. Number two, you're adding to the value of the conversation. It's a professional relationship that's really just an extension of a friendship. And a lot of times in the best networking groups you have, they're both intertwined. Like Foster and I know each other professionally, but he's a close friend of mine. And they've intertwined because of the value that we've shared with each other across these 35 years. Back before my voice changed.
You know, your voice was a little different back then.
No, not really. But anyway, so add value to that conversation. Hey, you know, this is the first time I've been to this professional organization. Is it a good one to come to you? How often do they meet? Oh, well, this one is okay, but I really go to XYZ one. Oh, really? Tell me about that. Again, you're just having that dialogue and showing that of interest there.
Show interest in them and what they're doing and what they got going on, because you guys will be surprised. Once you get a conversation going, you will be able to add value from some things that you have had experience with or people that you have met that can add value to them. And you can ask, how can I help you maybe? And then we all know you reap what you sow, right? Okay, I'll shut up. It's your show.
You read bullet number 5. How can I help you? How can I help you? And again, I'm really surprised when a job seeker comes up to me and talks to me and we're having a dialogue and I'm trying to understand how I can help them and what their background is and who else may be around that I can talk to, have them create an introduction to. And then they ask me, how can I help you? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, as a matter of fact, I'm looking for a project manager that has oil and gas experience that has used WMS warehouse management system. Oh, okay, well, let me see what I can find. Again, that's wonderful. Pete Hernandez does that all the time. He's awesome at doing that stuff. So again, use that simple question because it's not all about you, it's how you create this a valued relationship. And they're wonderful that you may have doing that. All right. Any questions? So again, don't think that you're bodying someone as long as you don't just look in their face and just see, to make this the whole conversation all about you. You want to make this a dialogue where you're trying to build a valued relationship. Okay. How do I approach someone for referrals? Okay, I want to talk about this before I go to the bullets. Remember I told you my recruiters, the first thing they do is they go on LinkedIn every morning. They work on that all day long. LinkedIn is key for them for finding the job. I'm going to tell you, remember, and again, it's a 2025. You all got things that again, I'm guilty of giving you all extra work. Here's another extra piece of work for you. I want to highly encourage you, if I know you very well, I'm going to tell you, you need to update your LinkedIn profile every day. Now, you don't have to make momentous changes in it. You can just rearrange a bullet, change a comma to a semicolon, type out university instead of instead of abbreviation. But here's why. So let's say, and I'm going to fall back to my IT. Let's say my team is looking for a Java programmer that has experience in AWS that has worked for a manufacturing company. Okay, and they're going to get a list of about 200 people. Then, of course, so guess what? The first thing they start doing, they're going to go down that list, and they always start chronologically. It's the top going down. And guess what? Probably after about a dozen or so people, they move on to the next job because they talked to somebody, they left messages, and they're moving on to another job. How many of you, whether you're searching anything or you're on Amazon shopping, how many of you go to the second or third page? You do? Good for you. Kudos to you. Most of us don't. And when there are any particular job skill, when I put in, or my recruiters put in a search criteria, LinkedIn will go and find the matches. And then when the matches are tied, they all have Java 21 times, and they have AWS 17 times, and they have whatever else they have, 6. Whenever they have ties, one of the things that LinkedIn does to determine who they put up higher is who was the most current update. So if you've updated every day and you have the same thing as everybody else, guess what? You're pushed to the top of that list within that result set. So I want to share with you a chance where you can be at the top end of the result set from someone's search criteria that's working all day to try to fill a position. Now, if you don't fill it out, if you don't update it every day, every other day, that's fine too. I'm just saying, don't be one and done, okay? And to ensure that you have the best possible chance, if you do it every day, that just helps ensure the best chance that you have of being in someone's result set. Because my recruiters won't go past page 2. If they find somebody on that first page and they're done, they're not gonna, oh, well, let's see who else it is. They're never curious.
They don't have time.
They don't have time. So you want to be in that first page of everybody's result set. So that's my point there. Okay. So you're reaching out to someone, you're talking on LinkedIn, you're asking for referrals. Let me do one more thing also before I don't forget. It's also important. Another criteria that LinkedIn uses in the result set search for recruiters is, again, when there's ties of skill sets based upon the search criteria they put in. Another thing that LinkedIn does that pushes candidates to the top is the more recommendations you have. So I don't know how many of you really care about recommendations. Those are king. We all know as a leader, they're important. Well, how hard is it to put a LinkedIn recommendation on your page? Well, I don't know. I don't want to bother everybody. I mean, they know they're busy. This is 20. No, the best way you do this is go to each one of your jobs, go back, and I challenge you to think of the 4 to 5 top people that you worked with, that you, I shouldn't say top, that you had the best working relationship with, 4 to 5 people, and write them a LinkedIn recommendation.
Yes.
And then say, oh, and by the way, would you mind writing one for me? Yes, please. Oh, we need a microphone?
I got one.
I had heard that, I'm Leslie Hamilton.
Hi.
And I had heard that LinkedIn cancels out recommendations if you recommend one another. That's not true?
I haven't heard that. Nope.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Okay, no, I have not heard that. Mm-mm. In fact, yeah, I'm all to the more the better. And again, don't just go and put your hand out, hey, can you write me a LinkedIn recommendation? No, you go and write someone a LinkedIn recommendation, thoughtful, referencing a part of the project you worked with. It tells you whether you worked for them, you worked with them, they worked for you, and just write those out there. And guess what? If I get a LinkedIn recommendation, how obligated do I feel I got to write them one? More than likely.
Yeah.
That's why you go into, and if you go and you build that and you add that to your list that you do that, every other day, you try to write 5 a week, by the end of a month, you may have a dozen recommendations. Bang! Do you know how many people have a dozen recommendations on LinkedIn? Less than 10%. So that's just another way to get you at the top of that result set. That's another thing that I hope that you would go and do. Plus, it helps you foster another relationship. Oh, but hey, Bill, what are you doing? Oh, I'm in transition. Really? Well, I didn't know that because we have that exact job open here. Surprise! That's a hidden job you may not have known about. So there are other things in there that you can that are benefits of doing that. So that's a big thing I want you to do.
Hey, Rick. Juan just showed me a guy who is a VP of, he is a VP and the head of IT Center of Excellence for his company, was his boss. Now, this guy wrote him a recommendation. Now, this was the big boss. If you get the big boss and you guys building relationships, I'm going to always throw that word at you, relationship. As you're building these relationships, especially with your bosses, CEOs of companies, VP, global, this, that, and the other, have them write you a recommendation. Now, when Rick sees that, that's going to strengthen Rick's resolve to try to help you and sell you, I hate that word sell, but convince one of his clients that you are the lady, you are the man for the job. And Mindy in the back has a question. I'm coming, Mindy. I don't move as fast as I used to. Pete's got it, okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't see your question.
Hey, I don't mind, both of you. Hi, I'm Mindy. I have letter of recommendations, but it's the old-fashioned letter of recommendations where my big bosses have sent, and I typically send those out. Is that something that helps, or should I ask them to do a LinkedIn?
No, sure, that's all great. Any recommendations, all good. I'm talking specifically about LinkedIn recommendations. I don't know of a place, you all may know about this. I don't know of a place on LinkedIn where you can upload a recommendation. I guess you can upload specific documents. But no, the algorithm looks at the recommendation link or tab as part of your profile. And that's what it uses in the algorithm on the results set. That's the way I understand it.
And remember relevance, guys. In the case of marketing, we were just talking about, where's my marketing lady? There she is over there. If one of your recommendations is in relation to what you're applying for, make sure they see that.
We love, while we're talking about this, we love if someone sends me a resume and sends me a PDF of their LinkedIn recommendations, because LinkedIn allows you to do that. I will open and I will read that. I'm still not looking at the cover letter, but I am reading those recommendations. So, okay, thank you.
Okay, my name's Craig, and my question for you is, what's your thoughts on actually writing your own recommendation? And what I mean by that is a lot of times when you go into your big boss and you ask them to do a recommendation, they in turn ask you to write them for you, or write them for them.
I'm all good. That's all fine.
Your thoughts are set.
Absolutely. Because again, they're only going to publish what they agree to, and the second part of that equation is that even if when someone writes you back to the recommendation, LinkedIn gives you the choice if you want to accept it or not. So it's just, if they write me a recommendation, I don't know what they're going to say, I don't know what it's going to be. LinkedIn would let you decide whether you want to publish it to your profile or not. So yeah, I'm on with that. We got one over here, Foster.
Okay.
Foster's getting his steps in.
I need to lose weight anyway.
This is Tarun Shangu. So you may choose to accept the recommendation, but you can hide it on your profile. And if you hide it on your profile, will the algorithm still consider it?
I don't know that answer. I don't know.
Thank you.
I haven't seen a case personally, but I haven't really had a dialogue with with a large group of anyone that said that they rejected someone's recommendation. So recommendations are king. We all love them. Recruiting, we absolutely love them. So yeah, I would love every one of them. Even if they're average, I'd still add it in there because the goal is to get your name at the top of the algorithm. Okay. You can work through a lukewarm recommendation in the interview, but again, you want to be someone that they're calling. So just putting that person up there is what's worth it. Okay. We good?
Oh, Mark's got a question way back there in the back. Can you get him, Pete? I'm way over here across the other end of the world.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Rick. Hey, guys. One of the things that we'd worked on early in our network, building the network and everything, is the recommendation side, which we have given out probably, I don't know how many, hundreds of recommendations. So that's probably the best way to get a referral or recommendation is to give, right? Give first and then ask, right? If you've given them and provided value to them, then you could ask for a recommendation or referral in return. So that might be a good way to spark the conversation.
Absolutely.
Give first.
Absolutely.
That's excellent. Give first, guys.
So again, just real quickly here, so you want to personalize the connection request. Hey, I understand you went to A&M. Yeah, sorry you didn't make it to the CFP, but it's still a good school. Start with a compliment, common ground. Do we have a question I'm stepping over? No? Okay. Be clear and specific. It's nice to make sure that you want to have an introduction talk, but also find a way to be concise about what your ask is. What is it that you're asking for? So that's nice. That's a nice message. Okay, move on. Well, as opposed to asking what you want from that person. Chart back. Any common interests, mutual connections or so. Thank them for their time and respect, courtesy of the time that they're doing. And then again, it's just like you do with a networking group. How can I help you? Is there anything I could do to help? No. Okay, let's moving on. I talked about this. Oh, we spent all this darn. There you go. We talked about recommendations there. All right. Here's one's really important, and I want to talk more specifically to the ladies in the room. The question is, do I apply for a job where I don't meet for all the qualifications? All right? And even though I want to talk about the ladies, here's the reason why. Men apply to jobs that they only have about a third of the skills that they have. Anybody surprised with that? Yeah, well, women, they only apply to jobs that they are 80% have. Why? Well, we kind of know why. But the point is, don't let that hold you back anymore. I use the simple term 50%, okay? And again, if you are looking in, you may not have all the job skills, but you have so many years of 30 years, 20 years in manufacturing, it's a manufacturing job. Of course, 30% still all good. Don't hold back. No one's gonna penalize you. No one's gonna write you a ticket. No one's gonna block you. Open that opportunity up. There are times when someone may look at the resume, why is this person applying for this job? They don't have no, but you know what? They could be a fit for this other job. It's another way to get yourself in the game. So back to you women. Give yourself some credit, and any job that you're 50% qualified for, if you think that's a job you'd like to pursue, go after it. All right? I can't tell you how many times. Oh, no, I can't do that. There are 27 job listings. I only have 22 of them. That's good. The client was only asking for about to get a dozen. But of course, they're putting that down there because they fought 6 months to get this job approved. That's why you want to go and do that, all right? It's a chance for you to show personal growth. Again, if you feel, I don't really qualify, Rick said I should go ahead and apply anyway, there's a chance for the cover letter to satisfy your internal need that you think that you could fit through this job. Use that cover letter to show that on there. You know, Foster, the question is always furthest from where you're at. Or Pete, are you over there? There's one back there.
I can make there's the giant.
So I do have a comment on this topic. There's a tool out there that you can use to find your fit for a specific role on a percentage points basis called jobscan.co. Again, that's jobscan.co. So when you're making a determination whether you should apply for a role or not, that's a great tool to use to help you out in making that determination.
Huh. I hadn't heard of it. Sure. So.
Thanks, William.
All right. Let's see. Again, when you're looking at jobs, if you don't feel like you have all the qualifications for, go back to LinkedIn. Maybe you can find someone on your connection list, someone that you can reach out to, connect with. Hey, I found this job. I have this kind of background. It's asking for these things. What do you think? Is this something I should pursue? Do you know the manager that I can talk to about this? Just another window to kind of have that dialogue in there, to talk about those things there.
Hey, Rick, I want to talk a little bit about, I'm always running my mouth. So I want to talk about that connection thing, guys. Sometimes you see a job posted at a certain company and you want to connect. As you go through from what Rick told you guys about earlier, you identify a person that may be in that same department, might be the hiring manager, and you want to connect with that person. Look and see what they have posted. Go to their profile. See what they've posted about. Usually they'll post about something that you've had a little bit of experience with or you have a comment about. Then you tell them don't just push the button, y'all, but tell them, I want to connect with you because I read what you said about this particular thing. This is how I connected with and actually recruited the COO of NASA. And it started a whole thing that I don't have time to tell you guys about. But I saw him post something about black holes, and I know everybody in here don't know about that, but I had an interest in that, and it got his attention, and I said, Dr. Afrin, I want to talk to you about what you posted about black holes, because I've noticed this, and I met this person. He connected with me right away. If you show interest, guys, in connecting with someone, you show interest in something that they're interested in, you'll be surprised.
Absolutely. So the bottom line is, please remember, a lot of times job descriptions is the hiring manager's wish list. And it's everything that they thought if they could carve out and put out and 3D print the person that they would fill this job, that'd be the one with all those lists. No one's like that, and everybody has a subset or a percentage of what's listed. So if you feel passionate about it, if that job has an interest to you, that you really think you want to go in that direction, go after it. And go try to find a way to get in front of the manager and see if that opportunity works for you.
5 minutes, Rick, and then we're going to go to break.
Okay. How do I optimize my application when a company's using an applicant tracking system, which most companies today use that? Sorry, there's a lot of busy words in here. Again, applicant tracking systems, they're looking for buzzwords, keyword matches. So using my example earlier, if everything you worked on was distribution and they're now saying logistics, change those words over. A lot of times ATSs will have an acronym, and you've typed out Amazon Work Services. We'll change that to AWS everywhere because it's doing counts. It's counting. Okay, the manager may only want to see resumes that have AWS listed more than 12 times. And if you wrote out Amazon Web Services 12 times, you're not going to be a match. Those are the things there. The simpler, sometimes we see some beautiful resumes with side panels and with pictures of the logos of the companies, and they're just visually so pretty. ATSs hate those things. It doesn't know what to do with them. It just likes bullets. It likes simpler text. and it's just churning through it like a cotton gin. So just make it a simple, straight Word document. I read somewhere it doesn't like PDFs. I like PDFs all the time, but I read one article that said ATS doesn't like them. I still would do PDFs. I've never had an issue when we got to use them on our side, so I would still go with that too. We got a question over here.
Oh, there.
To piggyback on the other guys with the jobscan.co, that actually has a power scan that you can pay for. It's $20, $30 a month or something. And you have an ultimate thing there. You actually just throw the job description in, put your resume, and it says, well, that's about 50%. And then you can actually update it a little bit, and you can actually bump it up as much as you want. Make sure you read it, because you might have buzzwords and it just doesn't flow well. But you can go through really closely and get that and just bang it. Last job I picked up, I got it to a 90% on it, and they called me within about 15 minutes of me sending it to them.
Nice. Wow.
The jobscan.co, if you do the power scan, you get it real close to the number. I actually got a call within like 15 minutes after sending it to them. They said, can you interview tomorrow? And the job wasn't a perfect fit, and I'm looking again now, but hey, they called. They got them. I got my butt there.
That's what we want. We want that call.
Guys, and when a lot of times we'll get caught up in the keyword game, so to speak. Make those, look and see what they're asking you to do with that software, with that methodology, and make sure that you expound on the direction that they're wanting to go, rather than just having keywords flying all over the place.
Okay, let's talk about in transition. Okay, the most important thing to remember about in transition is that it's temporary, and you got to have a positive attitude about it. You know, when they if that is approached, believe it or not, only about half of the managers really show interest to that. Only if it's over a year. If it's under a year, they don't care. So don't think that it's a stigma or something bad that's happening. It's just the reality of today's marketplace. But the point is to be positive about it. And the key things I tell people is two things. In your transition point, besides being a job seeker, what are you doing to improve your background and skills? Hopefully, are you getting some sort of new certifications? PMP is a key one to get if you're any kind of leader. You want to go and get a PMP certification. Also, networking groups. Oh, I joined the PMI Institute, and I joined the Constructions of DFW Users Group. They want to hear that you've gone to that to continue with learning and understand your business and career. Okay? They don't want to hear, well, I've been able to stream a lot on Netflix these days. They don't want to hear that. So find some ways to stay positive and other things that you do to build to your background and skills. That's the key thing to say there.
All right.
Les, okay, I got one thing.
Come.
All right, let me finish on this. You're going to have an opportunity in an interview to ask a couple questions. Don't take advantage of that. Limit yourself to one or two questions. The time window's there for them to evaluate. The time for you to ask questions is when you have an offer. This is, if you are going to take a picture, this is the one picture you should take. The two questions that you should ask when you have an opportunity are these two that I have listed here. Number one, for the person that fills this position, what will they be doing when they join your company? Oh, we need to launch this new product. They need to do this. They have to do that. Oh, we have an issue here where we have these troubleshooting. Whatever it is that they say, you want to think about where in your background you have done that. Okay? And what that does is that's a tiebreaker. If there's a tie between the other candidates, oh wait, but John, he's able to launch that product. He just did that at his last company. The other one, we don't even know about that. So that's one way for you to convey a question, yet be able to help magnify your background and qualities to them. The second question, based upon this interview and my resume, do you have any hesitations that I could perform this job? It's very specific how it's worded. You don't want to say, do I have any issues that I can perform this job? Everyone's going to tell you, oh no, you do great. I really do. If you use the word hesitation, what is implied is you just want to learn and you want to be a better candidate for the next time. And they'll say, well, I'm not sure if you really have enough production support. You know, they'll be able to be candid with you. That's your one opportunity to come back. Well, yes, I really don't. But you know what? At these last two companies, I didn't have this skill either. And within 3 months, both times, I was able to nail it to the point where I got this kind of thing. It's your only chance to address any negativity that the interviewer is thinking in the background while they are interviewing you. Okay, don't ask, what's your PTO policy? How many days can I go work remote? You know, when do I get my first? None of that is important. You want to get an offer. These two questions are the best questions you have to help elevate yourself as a candidate in their eyes. So, and I can stop there.